Well, if I was to describe today's very momentous election, I think I would use two words: democracy saved. Because what we've seen in the last 4.5 years is a huge imbalance in our democracy, where it had become very one-sided. But today, a lot of balance has been restored, and that's always good for democracy when you have equal and opposing forces. Now, on Saturday, I had said that I think it's going to be 3-0 in the Hindi heartland. Now, while the final votes are still being counted, I think I can claim a fair amount of vindication for that, because it does look like that Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, of course, have gone decisively for the Congress, and in Madhya Pradesh it seems to have again maintained a fairly significant lead. But those are really about numbers. I think there are 5 or 6 very important takeaways from what's happened today, and those takeaways are not going to be changed so much by the final number count. I think the first takeaway is that we all have to concede that the biggest winner today is Rahul Gandhi. I think for a long time, people in this country, media in this country, have spoken about how he was losing election after election, and that's a reality. The Congress did lose a lot of elections after 2014, but he displayed a very important trait for leadership, and that trait is tenacity, the ability to stand, take adversity, and continue to keep going. And I think he has done that, and he's finally, the process which started with Gujarat has finally found its culmination today. In fact, even when Gujarat had happened, I had said that we are all missing the woods for the trees, because we were looking at a BJP victory. What people were missing was that in rural Gujarat, the Congress had outpointed BJP 2:1. The Congress got a 2/3 majority in rural Gujarat, and I think that trend has completely carried over today to the 3 Hindi heartland elections. So I think the biggest winner today is Rahul Gandhi for proving that he has the tenacity to stay in the race, to fight the odds, and eventually come up victorious. I think another important thing that's happened today, in politics, your political base is very important. And after 2014, in the very large number of victories that the BJP had, their MLA base, the number of MLAs in the country, not MPs, the number of MLAs in the country that the BJP had become a very large number. But today, the Congress has changed the delta, and the Congress has got close to 165 new MLAs, and coming after the big victory that they had in Punjab, I think the MLA base balance, which is the unit of democratic political strength, I think that's happened. The third point, and I think there's again been a lot of commentary on that, the so-called soft Hindutva of the Congress. I've never called it soft Hindutva. To me, the Congress had swung too much into sort of what can be called a doctrinaire textbook secularism, which almost became irreligious. It became an irreligious secularism. What the Congress has done, and I think has done very successfully, and I think again the credit for that must go to Rahul Gandhi, and ever since he took over the Congress, they are trying to reclaim the space for liberal Hinduism. Remember, Mahatma Gandhi ran a whole independence movement on the basis of liberal Hinduism, because Hinduism is a very liberal, inclusive religion. And I think the Congress has gone back to asserting the values of liberal Hinduism, which, as I said, several severe commentators called soft Hindutva. I've never called it that. To me, that ideological course correction has been a very important element that has again found a successful culmination today. The fourth point is, it was thought that when the Congress changed its leadership, there would be a clash between the old guard and the young guard. But again, all the 3 elections today that the Congress seems to have done very, very well in is a teamwork of the old guard and the young guard. So the so-called divisions within the Congress, I think again it needs to be remarked that the two parts of the Congress, the older Congress and the younger Congress, seem to have worked quite well. Of course, I think in my 5th point today, we have to give full credit to KCR for winning Telangana in the decisive manner that he did. And I think the takeaway from there is he launched very innovative schemes of direct income transfers to farmers, We've been saying that for so long, that that is perhaps the only way that you'd be able to alleviate a lot of farm distress is by doing direct income transfers. He did that in Telangana, and I think that's one of the primary reasons that he's reaped the rewards that he's reaped today. And my last and final point today is I think it's not appreciated that ever since Prime Minister Modi entered electoral politics in 2002 in Gujarat, ever since then to today, he has not lost a single election. He lost one election, but that wasn't his loss. In Punjab, it was the loss of the Akali Dal because the BJP was a bit player. Today is the first election that the Modi-Shah duo have lost. And I think that's a very remarkable and a significant turn in politics. Someone who's won for so long, consistently, every election that he's fought, he's won. Today, he's faced defeat. So now, how he faces this defeat, the lessons that he takes away from this defeat are going to be critical. Is he going to yank himself back into the centrist mold that he had projected in 2014, or is he going to go swerve more to the kind of divisive politics that he had started practicing over the last couple of years? That's a very vital point, and it's going to have a very vital bearing on 2019. We'll just have to wait to see how the lessons that he takes away from today's momentous elections. Those were my 6 points from today's, as I said, remarkable polls.